Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Holtzman Survival Bushcraft Survival Knife. Alright everybody, welcome back. So you may have seen about a couple weeks ago, Nate came out with some new knives from Holtzman's Gorilla Survival, and this is one of them. This is a really nice 1095 high carbon steel knife. And it is their Bushcraft Survival Knife. I guess the only thing that would be comparable to it would be the old Schrade, gosh, if I can remember the name, SCHF52M, right there. And, you know, with the fit and finish on this one being kind of lacking, as you can tell, you know, this is the new Schrade when they took over. I was really happy to get something with a lot better fit and finish and a lot better made. Look at the thickness on that blade, too. So you have a nice 90-degree spine here for striking ferro rods or making any kind of tinder you want. And definitely it's a nice looking knife compared to the Schrade. Schrade kind of went downhill in the last few years, and the fit and finish on this is far superior. One of the things I like about this is for such a large knife, this grip feels amazing. It's aggressive, but it's not painful. You can see it's G10 scales, and you can see by the way that it's kind of cut in there, that you'll feel like you can hold it, but it doesn't run, you know, scrape into your hands as you're using it. So there were absolutely no hot spots on this. I tried it a little bit, messed around with it a little bit the other day, and no hot spots, no sharp areas, nothing, you know, bothering you or anything. Now you may have seen me using the D2 Silverback in a bunch of different videos that I've done in the past. Here, that's this little guy here, and actually this is a large knife. It just looks very little compared to that one. And I love this thing, but for a bigger knife, say if you're bringing one knife to do a bunch of different tasks, I would definitely opt for the larger one. The Silverback has been great, and I really enjoy it. But this one has a whole lot of girth without being the size of a machete or a small camp axe or something like that you can carry with you. And you can you know, easily baton wood, do any kind of work you have to do. And you're not concerned about it falling apart. Honestly, with the Schrade, the video that I did on it worked okay, but it just felt like the handles were going to snap off. You can see the gaps on the handles. So you can definitely see that's a far superior knife. Definitely better made. He really has his stuff down with these. You got the orange liners in there. And you do have a lanyard hole here. Let me show you what it comes with. You will get the sheath. Now the sheath also comes with, this is, by the way, this is a tech lock. Let me show you how this works. You just push that up, open it, close it like that. Real easy to use. Now you will get a little kind of screwdriver Allen key thing here. That is to remove these. If you don't want to carry the striker or the ferro rod, you can go in there and just kind of unscrew these, take out the little Chicago screws and save them, and you don't have to carry that. You can just carry the knife. If you already carry a ferro rod, maybe that you don't want to bother with a secondary one. But I kind of like it. Now the ferro rod itself, again, G2 scales with the orange liner. You have a nice sturdy ferro rod here. It's not one of those little tiny ones. It actually gives you a decent one. They do work very well. For some reason, I found these to be really nice ferro rods. Throw off a whole lot of sparks. And you do have it kind of shock corded here. So when you put it in your holster, let me show you that real quick. And these will be really tight to begin with, just so you know. When you put it in your holster, when it gets looser, you can still shock cord it in there and you won't have any issues with that. You do get a striker. Again, same G10 scales with the orange liner. This one, it's really sharp on the ends. I had one that wasn't as sharp on the ends, and I kind of had to go with a Dremel and sharpen it up. This one came out perfect. And that's what I used on this to scrape off a little bit of protective coating, and that will fit down here like that. Okay, and of course you have the knife, a leather strap across the front here. And boy, I hope I'm putting this in the right way, or it's going to be really embarrassing on video. There we go. And you have a little protective strap here to carry it. So all in all, you really have a nice little to-go kit there from Holtzman Survival. It's just a really nice knife and a nice presentation as well with the box and everything. He does give you some cord if you want to do your lanyard on it. Personally, I don't really use lanyards on knives. I've never really had a problem with losing them or losing my grip on them, especially larger ones like this. So for this one, it's 12.32 inches long. You have a nice 6.92-inch blade made of 1095 high carbon steel. Again, remember to keep your 1095 high carbon steel knives oiled somewhat. Clean them up. Don't let them get wet. You know, wipe it off. A little bit of oil and a little bit of care, and these things will never rust on you. They'll be perfectly fine. But they do have a tendency to rust up if you don't take care of them. So you get a good look at it here and see. It's amazingly well balanced for such a large knife. I was really surprised. I thought it'd be very front heavy because the blade is so big, but it's really well balanced. You do have a little sharpening choil there, so you don't have to run the sharpener right up to the edge of the G10. Very handy. And you have a nice little protective area here too, so your hand won't slip up past that, because that could really lead to bad things if your finger slips up in front there. The grip itself is very comfortable. You have nice palm swells in through here, but they're not huge, so you don't feel like you're holding a football. You just have nice palm swells in there. It's very controllable. I feel like I could, easily baton or shave or anything. We're going to test that out in a minute. We're going to take it outside and test it. So you do have a nice full tang, of course. Super thick. I think it's 0.25 inches thick knife. Nice anti-slip grip. And you get a lot more control with that, with this grip. I kind of like this design of grip, the way they kind of cut grooves into it. Because it's aggressive, but again, it's not painful. So all in all, that's the knife. I do want to take it outside and give it a little test. We will try out some common camp tests with it, and we'll bring you back when we're all set up out there. We'll try it out. All right, so the first thing we're going to try out here is batoning some wood. For some reason, it just got really loud out here. Everything just making noise at once. All right, so let's see. Tears right through that. I want to kind of make a flat board here, if I can, to test the tip a little bit. There we go. All right. So it definitely can baton through stuff, no problem. Let's grab that over here. All right. Now what I want to do here is kind of use the tip here to make a little divot in the board here, like I was going to make a fireboard or something, just to see how it works. It actually works very well. Oop. Tears right into that. No problem, no damage to the tip. All right, put this in here, test it out. Not getting any damage at all. No, actually looks nice. You can see a tip right there, no problem. So yeah, you can do a nice little start of a divot for a fireboard or something like that if you're going to start a fire that way and notch it in there. That's there's a little bit of a big board for that. But yeah, definitely will work well. Next up, I want to try the spine out and see if I can get some shavings for fatwood, and it obviously is doing that pretty well, because we are going to try and do a little fire starting here. I'm not going to actually burn a fire, but we're going to start one with our kindling and our tinder. So yeah, that's working very, very well. Getting a nice little pile of stuff there. I hope you saw that in the camera. Let me look for you. Yep. So yeah, I got a nice little pile there. If I were to keep going with that, I'd have a nice little pile of shavings. Just going to do some thin curls with it. It is kind of a big knife to do curls with, but I got to say, it seems to be doing okay. Actually making really nice curls with such a big knife. One of the things I like is you have that control, with the handle being the way it is, and this having a nice hand guard there, and you got that finger up top there. You have a nice control, and you can really do a lot of finer work that you can't do with a larger knife. That's definitely kind of cool there. Probably the best feather stick I've ever made, and I kind of stink at making feather sticks. All right, let's just take that and put that there. Okay. Now what I'd like to try with my thing here, I always kind of like the bigger striker. It's kind of a short striker on this, so we're going to start it with that. If I can find the striker. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to try and do it this way. There we go. That would actually caught before the dryer lint. So that definitely works. I'm sure, this will work here. Get some nice sparks thrown off that, even though I got the fat wood all hung up there. Get some nice sparks thrown off that. So it is a nice 90-degree spine. It'll definitely work either with this or with the striker. Striker's actually pretty cool. I really like the striker on that one. Okay, the last thing I want to do is do a little chopping and see how this thing holds up. I got some old wood here. Throw that to the side there on the ground. No problem chopping through stuff at all. This is, I believe this is cherry. I'm not sure. Got this off a tree that was somewhere else other than my property. So let's find another piece we can kind of chop through here. That's pretty hard wood, and it's cutting right through it. Now you see, the edge is obviously sharp enough because it just tears through this stuff. No problem. So definitely does the job. If I want to make a little notch, a little close to my fingers there, but definitely make a notch with it. No problem at all. And the edge is still, as you can tell, there's nothing rolled, no damage. Nope, no damage at all to the blade. Everything looks really good. So, definitely does the job that I want it to do so far. We're definitely going to do a long-term review on it. You know, I'll bring it back in the channel. I'm sure when I'm doing other fire starting videos, you'll see it. But let's bring it in and wrap up the video. All right, so we're back inside. Got it all cleaned up. I just dropped it a little bit, and it's still sharp as anything. Definitely like the knife. It's an excellent knife. It really feels good in your hand. That's the biggest thing I found about this. And when you're using a big knife for chopping and everything, I find that important to have a lot of control over it. You definitely don't want that thing flopping around in your hand, not knowing what's going on. So I definitely like the knife. I think for somebody looking for a first decent knife, you know, again, it's not some designer $5,000 or $500 custom knife. It's a good working knife that will serve you well for what I feel to be a very long time. And they run about $150, $149.95. Again, I feel the quality of them is way beyond what Schrade was putting out, so I would definitely recommend them. I like it. It's comfortable. I like the whole, you know, kit that it comes with. I like the fact that you get a striker, you know, ferro rod. You get a nice, get a real nice, decent custom sheath. That is really impressive because in previous knives, I have not gotten, you know, you get like I showed you with the Schrade, you get some kind of nylon pouch or something or other. So, not a big fan of that. I do like these sheaths. They are actually real Kydex and not plastic. They are kind of modular, so you can remove this stuff if you don't want to carry that around. Definitely like that whole idea. Anyway, folks, that's the knife. I will put a link down below where you can check it out. You saw it perform very well out there, even chopping into that old, I believe it's cherry or pine. I don't know, some kind of really hard wood that I got off somebody else's property. My friend Charlie, actually. And if you want to test the knife, you'll roll edges with that stuff. And it tore through it. It took a couple times, but it tore right through it. The edge is perfectly fine. So I'm definitely impressed with it. Anyway, folks, like I said, the link's down below. Check them out. It's in my Amazon store. They run $150, $149.95. Definitely worth a shot. I really am impressed with the knife. I love the way it feels in my hand. I like the fit and finish and the thickness of it. Gives you a nice heft when you're actually striking down on stuff. And as you saw, I could even feather stick with it. Nice stink at feather sticking. All right, I really need to practice that a little more. But I could do a really good job, so I was really impressed with it. Anyway, folks, don't forget to check all our other links down below. We have our Amazon affiliate store, which this will, of course, be in. We have our freeze-dried wholesalers link. Now, I have something coming up on tomorrow's video that's going to be quite amazing. It's going to be a little bit of a departure video for me because I don't actually have the product yet. But I'm going to be able to show you some stuff, so get ready. He's got some amazing stuff coming to freeze-dried wholesalers. And if you're interested in it, you just click that link and you save 15% just by clicking my link. There's no codes, there's no nothing. You just click the link and you'll save 15%. Don't forget our My Patriot supply, which is preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. Lots of bulk food options there, 25-year shelf life stuff, and our Thrive Life freeze-dried store as well. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.